Gotta turn up the game. Good evening, Crunchers. No. Breaker Crunchers!
Whoa, there's the energy.
Yeah. Breaker Crunchers. It's Friday night. I almost said Saturday. Whoa.
That was last year.
It's Friday night in Phoenix, Arizona. It's actually Friday night everywhere in the country.
True.
We are the Couch Crunchers. My name is Lance. Below me, you will see Sam, movie Aerospace Engineer. And to my right, but on the screen, I don't know how they see it, is Max the Lion Tamer. Say hi, guys.
Hello. It is
Hi,
also the same for them. They see the exact same thing.
Yeah, but I went like this, and my hands went the other way, so it threw me off for a minute. So I'm literally pointing in your direction as I'm looking at you, but yeah.
Lance, you're a beautiful beast.
Let's see if it works for Sam. No, it's wrong.
No, you're wrong.
I don't understand. I'm just pointing to you guys, and it's working just fine.
Let's do the Brady Bunch thing.
I got to point to my left, and it points on the screen. It points to my right.
Hey,
okay,
man.
I do get it wrong.
Oh, it's amazing.
Hey, Lance.
Here's a story.
Oh, man, you guys. Bald and beautiful.
Right.
Lance took last week off, and he's like excited to be here now. He's like, woo, energy, baby.
I wish I was watching WandaVision episode 8.
Me too.
Yeah.
Rumor has it, though, I know we're going to talk about the show more, but rumor has it that the last 2 episodes are supposed to be like hour long.
See, I heard the rumor that the last 3 episodes were supposed to be longer, and then I watched today's, and I'm like, oh, well.
I mean, today's I know there's a lot of credits, but it was 38 minutes. That was fairly long for the show, wasn't it?
No, it's about the same. I think the entirety of the episode was like 31 minutes.
Actually felt shorter. When it ended, I was like, wait, it's already over?
And we'll get a little bit more into that. But if you haven't figured it out, again, for the umpteenth time this year, actually the 7th time this year, we are talking about the latest 6th. Yeah, that's right. Because 1 and 2, dude, quit. Okay, smartass. All right.
I'm just trying to help you.
No, I don't need the help. Bro.
Math, okay? Math.
We are talking about WandaVision, episode 7.
You guys are so
Disney
cute.
Plus.
Breaking the fourth
wall.
Like a week and a half, and I'm sad. I miss him.
I know. I was gonna come by today, and then my wife left. I only have one car to come get that stuff from your house, and my wife left. And I'm like, well, it's not gonna fit in my Passat, so.
I've been really tempted to just put it all in the back of my car and bring it over, but I haven't done it.
Yeah, I'll probably go get it tonight if that's okay with you.
We'll see.
Max has got a bag of Doritos nacho cheese in his pantry that are calling his name, so he doesn't want to share. So we're talking about WandaVision episode 7. But before we get into that, so guys, I've actually been watching some fun things and that I'm excited to talk about, and I want to know what you guys have been watching before I get into that. So
I want to talk about something because a while back, Sam and I were arguing about who always gets to start first, and we discovered that the real victim of Couch Crunchers is my man Lance Speroni right here.
Lance has never gone first, telling us what he's watched.
I let ladies go first. So,
well, you go first.
Well, I don't know. Okay, so I started watching this show last night, and I got immediately sucked into it. I think it originally aired on the Sci-Fi Network, but you can find it on Peacock. It's called Deadly Class, and it's based off a comic series. And Jay has told me to watch this show since it came out, and I'm pretty sure it's only 1 season. It got canceled, but it's awesome, dude. It's about a school for teenagers that are learning how to be assassins, and it's awesome.
Nice.
It's like Harry Potter for assassins. It's called Deadly Class, and you guys should watch it. It's on Peacock. And then the other one we just finished yesterday, we finished it, was on Netflix, My Dead Ex. It's hilarious. It's about this girl who has this boy that just fawns over her, and she wants nothing to do with him. And then he dies and comes back to life, and he has to stay within 30 feet of her, or else he dies in agonizing pain.
Oh, man.
It's hilarious.
Wait, what was that one called?
Funny. My Dead Ex.
Oh, jeez. Okay.
It's really funny. It's a dark comedy. It's really funny. I say dark comedy, but when I think dark comedy, I think of that other one, The End of the Effing World or whatever it's called.
Man,
Yeah,
To
that
me is
one
a
is
true
pretty
dark comedy. This one is like a satirical dark comedy. It's really good. Reminds me kind of Warm Bodies-esque, but better than Warm Bodies. But it's only 8 episodes on Netflix. It's fantastic. You should watch it.
Nice.
Okay.
Sounds
Max,
good.
what about you, my friend? I always feel weird going first. I don't like going first.
Sorry, man. I just had to.
We
I had to do
noticed.
it.
You never go first.
Well, I'm the host.
He's a
shouldn't go
gentleman.
first.
He's
I
a
am.
gentleman. Ladies
Gentleman
first.
is-
Gentlemen.
scholar.
Well, now you get to put a tick on the chart.
I've been gaming again. So I've been playing the Tomb Raider games. I just finished the last one in the reboot series earlier this week. Enjoyed that. I really enjoy it. I think I said last week that I don't understand why people hate on that game. I think it's really good. It's really pretty. It runs really well. Yeah, from the reboot trilogy, the third one it gets a lot of flack.
I didn't know that.
As far as the trilogy is concerned, it's kind of the redheaded stepchild. I mean, it's probably the worst of the 3, but not by a lot. Like, it's still really good. So yeah, I finished that, and then Lance, if you haven't ever played these, I really think you would like them, and you could maybe even get Anna to watch you play it, maybe. But the Telltale games, have you ever played those, Lance?
Yeah, I have Batman, Telltale.
Okay, Batman.
Back to the Future.
Okay, I've never played Back to the Future, but the Batman one's actually pretty darn good. Like the Joker in it is really cool. It's a really fun story. But I mean, Sam, you might like them too. I mean, they're basically comic books in a video game format.
No, I'm familiar.
Yeah, they're awesome.
They're episodic.
Episodic, and so I've played the first 2 seasons of the Walking Dead show game. I also played the Michonne side branch of that, which was pretty good. Which was actually quite interesting because I played it and then the show kind of like did a similar-ish storyline to what the video game did. And I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. Anyway, so now I started season 3 yesterday, and they're pretty short. Like I played for an hour and a half and got through episode 1, and there's usually 5 episodes a season. So
yeah,
they're really fun. So if you guys ever see those on sale, I say pick them up. You don't need anything powerful to play them. Like honestly, if you have like a pretty basic, even non-gaming laptop, you could probably play them on that. Yeah, you can play them on Switch. I'm just saying, but like even if you don't have like an Xbox, a Switch, a PlayStation, like if all you have is a little laptop and you think that they would be interesting, you can probably play them. Yeah,
they're very low resolution, like not low resolution, but they don't take up a lot of memory or anything. They run pretty smoothly. I bought Batman, the Batman one on the Switch. It was $2 on the Switch.
Nice. Yeah, that's a good deal.
And I'm like, this is worth buying. And then Back to the Future, I owned it for PS3, I think, or Xbox. I don't remember which one. And then I rebought it for PS4 because I love that one so much.
Oh, cool.
So, if you want to borrow that one, you can, Maximilian.
I think I own it on Xbox or something. It was probably I think it was a free game.
Future.
Yeah, free game with gold one time. My favorite of all of them that I've ever played, though, is The Wolf Among Us. When they were supposed to release the season 2, and then Telltale like closed, and now they've reopened.
But I don't know who this is.
And
it's Tyler.
So
Tyler, what's up, man?
Tyler was caught up in his pregame as
okay.
Sam.
Well, I'm gonna mute him until he gets set up because that sounded like monkeys in a.
Yeah, the bulls.
You're gonna need to unmute yourself, buddy. I muted you.
All right. Well,
sorry about that.
Yeah,
man.
you started grabbing everything, and I hear, and I'm like, yeah, you're getting muted.
Sorry. Been
Did you get lost in the pregame?
difficulties.
Yeah. I didn't know that kid was walking around already throwing shit everywhere.
Dude, my kid is crawling everywhere now, and it's nuts.
Pregame is our new euphemism for taking a dump before you get on the stream.
Mm-hmm. My pregame was making sure I had a 6-pack of doobies sitting next to me.
Noise.
You know what they say? Doobie, do.
Is that what they say?
They don't, though. They say Scooby Dooby Doo. Oh my gosh. Yeah, those Telltale games are fun, man.
Yeah,
Dude, Valhalla is awesome.
Oh, good. I'm glad you're still liking it. They released an update this week for like river raids and stuff. I haven't done any of those yet though. I was about to uninstall the game and then I saw here's a new update and I'm like, yeah, I guess I'll keep it because it was probably this last week I played Valhalla for like an hour, not realizing that I was literally an hour away from beating the game. Like so, I had already beat the main story like 2 months ago, but then there was like this other quest line where I don't know if you've gotten to it yet, but there's a quest line where like it's like a fantasy world where you're Odin and the other people in the game are other like
spoilers, bro.
Norse mythology. That's all I'm going to say about it. So there's a quest line there, and I was like an hour away from being done with it, and I didn't realize that. And so one night I logged in and beat it.
I have a hard time even figuring out what is the main story and what, like, I get diverted on all these side quests, and I think that I'm playing the main story, and then I figure out when I look at my progress that it hasn't moved, and I was like, oh, that was a side quest.
It has a little indicator for what the main quests are.
Okay, I'm not as smart as you, Tyler, apparently. I've been playing that game probably 2 or 3 hours. Like, I get off work, and I go sit in my living room, and I play for like 2 or 3 hours and shut it off and then watch TV with my wife. But every day for like since I got it. So it's a fun game. I enjoy it. And it's so easy. It's like really easy. So it's just kind of casual. Although I'm stuck on this raid right now where I've died like 6 times trying to boost some wealth.
Because you're not screaming Leroy Jenkins before you go in.
Leroy Jenkins.
Leroy Jenkins.
It's a fun game, man. I love it. But Tyler, what about you? We're gonna make Sam go last.
I gotta fix my audio real fast.
Oh, okay. Then we're gonna let Sam go. We're gonna let Tyler go last.
All right. So what I've been watching is I have been just having a great time watching one thing that's kind of boring for everybody. It's called
Triple D Dodgeball.
I always watch Triple D Dodgeball, but I know Max.
There were
Max
some
gets
good
a little
clips.
upset if I just talk about that all the time. So yeah, if you're not following Triple D Dodgeball on Instagram, I do post game clips from every Wednesday night. And Tyler and I were both there this week. So check us out. If you like Couch Crunchers, you're going to like Triple D Dodgeball because half of the Couch Crunchers played Triple D Dodgeball. But no.
Hey, did you nail somebody in the nuts this week?
I didn't nail him in the nuts. My nephew plays, and he's always trying to nail me in the nuts. I hit him in the gut kind of after the game was over. I was kind of in the middle of something. Hey, thanks, Sarah, my sister in the chat. She says Triple D Dodgeball rules.
Thanks, Sarah.
I hit him after
you posted.
the game.
I couldn't tell because on our phones it was like this big.
Yeah, it's not very big. If you go on Instagram, it's when I posted. I haven't posted it yet. It's scheduled to be posted later this week, but he is gunning for me every game, and not just for me, but for my nuts. and so I don't feel super bad. I wasn't
on your nuts.
Yeah, I wasn't trying to hit him.
Heat-seeking missile. Huh?
Whoever just tuned in on that sentence, we're talking about dodgeball.
He's got a nut-seeking missile.
Yeah, I'm still sore actually from Wednesday night. Here's a miracle of the human body, by the way. I got hit in the face at like really close range, and it hit me like right here. And after it was over, I just like shook it off, and I was fine, good to go. The guy that hit me was like, "Oh man, I'm so sorry." I was like, "Honestly, you didn't throw it hard enough for it to really matter that much."
So was that a dig, or was that like, no, don't worry, man, you didn't?
It's kind of both. I was trying to dig and let him know I was fine. And then, my other nephew's now in the chat. But then the same guy from across the court throws the ball. It hits the wall and then ricochets right into my balls.
On purpose?
No, it was complete fluke. He was trying to hit me in the chest, but he missed. It hit the wall, and then it bounced into my nuts. And
You keep trying to get us to go.
Good thing you're not having any more kids, bro.
Yeah, man. What if my wife and I want to have a second? I don't know if I should do this game.
Just wear a cup.
Yeah, you're not gonna. No one wears a cup. We're all just
Sounds
like
really uncomfortable.
Yeah,
like,
so you're just gonna have a bunch of sterile guys out on the racquetball courts.
You know what? You guys know the scene in Last Jedi where Kylo Ren is freaking out. He's like, more.
Yeah.
That's what happens whenever we get hit in the nuts. We're like, more.
It sounds like those.
Are you not entertained?
You ever seen those videos of those guys who like legit train themselves to get kicked in the balls over and over?
So yeah,
Painful to watch.
That
man.
happened in New Orleans. There was this guy walking around with a sign that just said "Kick me in the nuts."
It was probably the horse. I kicked him at Ninja Warrior.
Yeah,
that's
you were
right.
telling
You
me
told
about
that
the other story. Yeah,
10 years ago, I kicked that guy in the nuts.
yeah. I was in Bourbon. What do they call it? Bourbon Street. Thanks. And there's this guy just wearing like one of those. It's like a piece of wood, has a string, has another piece of wood.
Sandwich board.
What's it called?
It's called a sandwich board.
Okay, that. Yeah, he was wearing it and said, "Kick me in the nuts." And on the back, it just said $5. Well, my boss paid him like $25 and was wearing like steel-toed boots. And I'm like, dude, you are going to send that guy to the emergency room. Like,
no, honestly, if you're going to kick someone in the nuts, you don't want a soft toe because you will feel his balls on your toes. For sure.
Sam knows way too much about them.
Life lessons.
That's the moral. We should start having moral of the story at the end of our show. And tonight it's going to be, don't kick somebody in the nuts with soft-toed shoes.
Definitely don't do it barefoot.
Life lesson number 3.
Unless you want to feel that wrap around.
That's a rule
Like
of life.
Animaniacs, good idea, bad idea.
The more you know.
The other thing I've been watching is the GameStonks congressional hearings. Dude, those are pretty freaking entertaining. So if you are into investing or you're into politics, there was a guy, he goes by Roaring Kitty on YouTube. He has a more profane name on Reddit, Deep Effing Value. And he was testifying. Yeah. He was testifying before Congress about the GameStop run and how Robinhood had shut trading down and the hedge funds were coming out against them. And it was it was very entertaining, very fascinating. And the dude, you compare him to the CEO of Robinhood, and it's like night and day. They asked him questions, and his answers were always yes, or no, or I like the stock. And the CEO of Robinhood was like, that is a really good question. I was born in Bosnia.
Sir, why did you start Robinhood? Well, I like peanut butter and jelly.
He starts this really long story, and they're like, could you just answer yes or no, please? And he's like, okay, so let me start by saying that a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. And
now I'm
like
interested.
9 day. It's really fun to
young
watch.
boy named Anakin.
Yeah. So I would totally check that out.
Triple D is for strong nutted men only.
Yeah, that is the truth.
Well,
It's not for the faint of heart.
Stand in that category. Although March 4th, I will not have very strong nuts.
I was just about to make that joke. I'm driving him to his appointment. Snip, snip.
Yep.
Baby.
Well, congratulations.
Yeah. The news of the hour: Lance is getting snippy.
Should we live
You know what
stream
I'm
it on the couch?
Yeah, we'll live
channel?
stream it.
We're gonna live stream it.
Yeah, we'll take a wide shot of my nuts. We'll see how many views that gets. Only on OnlyFans.
Oh boy, I gotta check the
Charging
YouTube traffic.
subscription on the OnlyFans.
I wonder how many listeners we just lost.
Hey, you guys want to know a secret?
As the number went down, you said that, and the number went down.
Did it?
We're talking about Lance's nuts. Got to go.
My wife's birthday is tomorrow.
Oh, happy
Nice.
birthday!
And I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do.
Did you hear see what your nephew said?
Triple D slogan, boys to men.
With the 2.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Double
Roman
ball.
numeral.
Yeah, they've been sacking up and getting real crazy.
So, you pretty much spent your whole time talking about Triple D dodgeball for the most part.
That's all I spend all my time. But also, yeah, you stepped out. But I also wanted to see if we could give a happy birthday shout to my wife.
Happy birthday, Sam's wife.
That was beautiful, boys. Thank you.
Happy birthday. Happy birthday.
Nobody wants to hear you
Beautiful.
sing.
I think we
Happy
get
birthday.
sued for singing that on the air. I think that happy birthday song is copyrighted.
I didn't do the actual happy birthday song.
Yeah, I started to.
Oh.
That's why restaurants can't sing it, from my understanding, right?
Why would restaurants not be able to sing it?
Happy birthday is copyrighted by somebody. You're
That's
not.
not true.
They're not allowed to sing it.
It's public domain.
I don't think so.
I'm going to go with the lawyer on this one.
That's public domain.
Yeah, but I don't think he studied in school the specifics of the happy birthday song.
I have no idea about
I
this.
did. Sure, I did.
It was a
Specifically.
case study. It was his final case study.
I took IP. Anyways, that's what I'm watching. I'm watching
what about you?
dodgeball, watching congressional hearings, and watching my sexy wife have a birthday.
Nice.
Happy birthday,
Tyler, if there's one thing you definitely need to tell us about, and if you don't, I will make sure you tell us about it.
Okay.
But go ahead. What have you been watching?
Okay.
You texted about it, and I was confused.
Yeah.
That's the hint. Tell us about that.
The copyright for "Happy Birthday to You" does not expire till 2030.
It's on the internet. It's got to be true.
It's owned by Warner. They bought it
Warner-
in 1988 for $25 million. Ownership of the song.
Warner will copyright you, man. They did that to us
Yeah,
when we were doing freaking YouTube
I know.
videos. When we were
I tried to post a memorial video for one of our agents that passed away last week, and there was a Neil Diamond song, and they won't let me play. It's not for monetary value or anything. Like, we're not making money off the video. They won't let me post the video unless I remove the song.
Ay.
Okay. That's
I remember when I was
okay. Hang on. Are we talking about "Happy Birthday to You"?
Yeah, that's
because a U.S. federal court ruled in 2016 that Warner and Chappell's copyright claim was invalid, and there was no other claim to copyright. It's public domain, bro.
Well, I only remember that when I worked at Serrano's, we could not sing "Happy Birthday" because they said they would get sued.
Well, that was before 2016.
So it was probably
you
before
old, man.
2016. Because that was it for a long time. That's why they what do they sing now? Happy birthday from all of us to you. The stupid one.
the stupid one.
Yeah. They all sing that one because they can't sing
This
the other
is
one.
the only happy birthday song you need to know, which is this is your birthday song. It isn't very long.
That's it.
That's it.
All right. Lives up to the line.
I think I know what you're talking about, Max.
Sorry, I was all being vague. I just wanted you to tell us about the cat guy. I thought
Yes.
that was freaking hilarious.
Oh my god.
Cat guy.
Yeah.
Oh.
So I mean, there's a lawyer, and it looks like there's two lawyers on a Zoom call.
Oh yeah, the
with
Zoom call.
With a
Oh,
judge. It's like some kind of hearing, and over Zoom, and one of the lawyers has a cat filter on. And he's obviously this old dude, does not know how to turn it off. His assistant doesn't know how to turn it off. And so he's just sitting there talking with his little cat mouse, and his eyes are big and like keep wandering around. And the judge is like, I think you have a cat filter on. And he's like, yeah, I do. I'm okay to move forward though. And
I don't know how to turn it off.
I don't know.
I'm not a cat.
Yeah. Then he has to tell the judge, he's like, I'm live. I'm not a cat. So now
Sounds like
there's
something a cat would say.
Oh man, there's just
That
all
was in
these-
a court session?
Yeah, dude. It was a
Yes.
Zoom court.
I didn't
meeting.
realize that was in a court session. I just thought it was someone's like Zoom meeting for
No.
I
But
really
I
want to
just-
do that at court, though. I want to put a cat filter on it.
Yeah, I'm just glad we got to see it because I'm sure that most of that meeting was like, you don't. The public probably doesn't get to see it, but it was like the beginning of the meeting before they got started, so we still got to see the freaking hilarity ensue.
my favorite one that I've seen of Zoom fails, which if you ever have time on YouTube, just look at Zoom fails, is the radio station that was live on the air talking, like the four of them, and they hang up the call. Well, the one guy thought they hang up the call, stands up and starts walking away in his boxer shorts, going to iron his pants. And the other person calls him and says, "Dude, we can still see you." And he just ducks behind them. It is the funniest thing. But dude, Zoom
That's
fails
better than
on
the
YouTube
the
are
girl
better.
who like takes her computer to the bathroom, takes her
I
pants
saw that.
down, and like goes up to the bathroom.
Yeah, it's
in
old
front of
people
her,
don't
like-
understand how computers work.
No, this was a kid. The one I'm talking about, like, the
Oh,
video doesn't-
really?
Yeah, it was like a teenager.
Did you hear about
Obviously,
that?
the video doesn't show you anything inappropriate. It's a kid, but I
Yeah.
was just like, holy crap, that's pretty embarrassing.
Did you hear? Take this a little bit more serious. Did you guys hear about that teacher? I want to say it was like in Arkansas or something like that. She's getting prosecuted right now because she was teaching her students on Zoom and just started masturbating
Oh my gosh.
in front of all her kids.
Oh my gosh, that's awful.
Yeah.
That's so
she's
bad.
gonna spend some time in jail. Oh, is this something you want me to add? It's just hysterical.
Yeah, this is what Tyler was talking about.
So,
Turn the audio on, man.
Recording of this hearing or live stream is prohibited, and we're watching a recording of it.
Oh.
That's hysterical. Oh my god.
What happened?
Oh, beautiful.
Anyway, I just
That's
wanted
me
to
on my
show
calls,
it,
man.
like-
I've been teaching people how to send out automatic emails, like marketing emails. And sometimes I get some older folks on there that aren't too savvy with computers. And I have about 30 people listening to me on how to do these marketing emails. And you always got one or two people that are like, I don't see that button. And then you guys stop for 10 minutes and show them where the button is or whatever. It's frustrating. And then it just ends up, I'm like, just hang up and I'll call you after and we'll do it one-on-one. I'll help you. And then I just end up doing it for them.
What's the web address for gmail.com?
How come I can't see anything on my monitor? Well, sir, is your monitor on? Oh my gosh. But yeah, let's get into the main topic because I'm very excited to talk about this. WandaVision episode 7. We've all seen it, I hope.
Oh yeah.
Wait,
Yeah,
that's what we're
it's the
talking about
first-
tonight?
It's like, oh crap.
We're
still
I
talking
thought we
about
were
this
talking
show?
about Jumanji too.
Do Fabric Flub, I'll be back.
We're still talking about the show. Okay, guys, give me just about 35 minutes. I'll be right back.
Okay, wait. It was episode 7, right? We got
Yes,
8
sir.
and 9 left, right? Okay. Episode 7, WandaVision. Some
Buddy
I want-
once told me the
Oh, man,
you
word.
know what?
You and I both, Sam. That's awesome.
I'm just gonna put that up there. So I want to say that there was a ton of reveals in this episode, and I think they were going for like the shock value on these reveals. But we have all been talking about these things for the last, since episode 3, I think.
Which is why I
Of
think
who-
they jazzed it up with the song, you know?
Yeah, they had to put the
Add
funniest
a
line
little
in
more
there.
spice.
Yeah. So nothing was really like, oh my gosh, right?
Yeah.
No, not really. Like, I mean, I know I've personally been going back and forth on whether or not I thought that Agnes was Agatha Harkness or not. Like, there were some episodes where I was like, yeah, Sam, because Sam, you've kind of been on the boat of there's something up. And I've been
I
going
thought her
back
name
and
was
forth.
too on the nose.
Fair enough.
thought-
But like,
You
I've been like, I don't know. She doesn't seem like she's a bad guy. And then other times I'm like, but she's always there and she's always in the way and, or facilitating things. I don't know. And then, of course, this week they finally reveal she is Agatha. And even though I've gone back and forth, it was not really that surprising to me to find out. Yep, she's Agatha.
I still, because this happened, we still got 2 episodes, and apparently those episodes might be longer than what we've had, right?
Yeah.
I still think that maybe she's not the bad guy.
Well, I still think Mephisto's coming.
Yeah, I think that she is. So Wanda is under her control, and I think she is under Mephisto's control, but because in the comics, like, there is a period where they're enemies, her and Wanda, but then she also becomes a mentor to Wanda at one point. And I'm like, well, if they're enemies and Wanda was so, like, vulnerable, why not just kill her, right? Why play this whole game and act friends with her and stuff? Like, it was too good of acting to act that way if you actually hated this person. So
But
I
she
think
is
there's
an
still
actress.
some Agatha Harkness is not. Catherine Hahn, yes. No, I think there's going to be some further reveals when it comes to Agnes, aka Agatha Harkness, aka the lovely Catherine Hahn.
Did anybody else think that her magic looked like Dormammu stuff?
I didn't make that connection, but it's got the same color.
Yeah,
So I
and
kind of
like,
see where you're coming from.
well, and like the vines going through.
Maybe
Like-
she just wanted purple like Samuel L. Jackson.
Maybe.
No, you do. That's interesting. I don't know that they're related, but I don't know. You're right. There's definitely some similar vibes there.
Yeah, it looked very much Dormammu-ish to me.
Blue and red were taken up. They just gave her the mixed of the two.
Well, maybe she's drawing magic from the dark dimension.
She could
From
be.
the quantum realm. I don't know, man. Who thought the last 2 episodes were better than this one?
Me,
Yeah,
I was pretty disappointed in this episode.
Well, I loved it. Don't get me wrong.
I
But
liked it.
Well, here's the deal: is they've been teasing big reveals, and we already pegged Agatha Harkness from episode 1, right? So, what's more interesting is the stuff that wasn't in the episode that they had teased in prior episodes, right? Monica Rambeau is saying, I'm going to go drive up over that ridge, and on the other side of that ridge is an aerospace engineer, and it's going to be exciting. We're going to have great stuff. We're going to meet this aerospace engineer, and it's going to be amazing.
even went as far as to hide the phone when she was texting this person to make you think as a viewer, like, oh, this is someone big.
This is Reed
And then it was
Richards.
like,
This
yeah,
is
and then it
Fantastic
was
Four. They're coming.
then it was like General Whack-a-Mole or something.
Yeah,
like no.
Yeah, it was someone no one's ever heard of.
General
Yeah.
Latinx. random, random person who nobody knows. This is not a character in Marvel.
Yeah.
And so
We went round and round. Oh, it's got to be War Machine. What's his name? What's War Machine's name?
Rhodey.
Thank you, James Rhodey. It's got to be War Machine. No, it's got to be Reed Richards. No, it's got to be, the pizza guy down the street. Like, we went round and round about who this person could be, and it just turned out to be some random general.
I was like, are we supposed to be excited about the truck? Because it wasn't just the stuff they said in the show. They also went so far as to report about Paul Bettany saying he was going to be working with someone in this show that he's been wanting to work with his whole life.
I think it's still Michael Fassbender.
And I was like, okay, that's pretty exciting.
Or
Yeah, so
it's
And then
Picard.
the gal who plays Monica Rambeau says, "Oh, just wait till you see who our aerospace engineer is. You're gonna flip." And then we didn't see.
Well, here's the thing. So that was published 8 hours ago. So I'm just looking at Comic Book Movie or CBR. What is that one? Anyway, a website. Any comic book, that's what it is. Anyways, she said earlier, it looks like the quotes from today that we still haven't seen who the aerospace engineer is. So it looks like maybe that we're good. We don't know still.
I don't understand.
I sure hope that wasn't the reveal, and it looks like that wasn't. Because who the heck was that person?
Yeah,
who
it
was
just
that even?
the way the shot was when there's it was from the back seat as they're driving over the ridge. You start seeing a little bit more and more of this camp or whatever. You're like, oh, here it comes. Here it comes. Like the
that's what I was doing.
The
It was a
tease
tease,
was
man.
there, and then it's just some chick, some general.
Yes.
Here's the truck that you ordered. Make sure
The
to give us
truck you
5
ordered.
stars for Carvana. Y'all, you get 2 free oil changes with this one.
Lance. I love it. I love it.
Make sure to give us a good review on Yelp. Oh man, no, there was a big tease. Big tease. No, I think the big reveal was Agatha Harkness. It was really the only reveal, and showing all the ways that I think the biggest one was when she was talking with Vision in the car, and then we figured out that was all fake.
I knew it was fake.
That she was acting.
Yeah.
How'd you know that?
See, and that's what
because she didn't act. She didn't flip out. She didn't flip out like the guy at the office, right?
Well, she kind of went crazy.
She did though.
No, she didn't.
out.
She just was like, "Dead. We're dead. We're dead," and that was it.
Well,
The
she freaked. She
The
was
other
like,
guy, everyone else that they've done that to was like losing it. And she was.
Yeah, but Darcy, not
Me-
really.
Darcy had only been under
Darcy
control for like
already
an hour.
knew.
Yeah. So I thought Agatha or Agnes at
Their
the time
Sam is frozen.
did a really good job of acting because Vision snapped her out of it, and she immediately. I'm pretty sure I watched that episode 3 times last week, and she immediately looked at him like, "Are you here to help us? Please help us." Like she seemed desperate
but,
for
like,
help,
wouldn't
and she was on the outskirts of town, like just frozen. You know what I mean? Like, how sinister is she? That's what it seems like. Is that she's that sinister that she set herself up for Vision to find her.
Yeah, I want to
You know
know
what I mean?
why she was acting there, because if she is trying to keep this whole thing going, why would she let Vision leave? He was so close to the edge. Why let him leave?
She's trying to isolate Wanda for some reason. She's driven a wedge between her and Vision now, and now she's swooping in to do something. But
You know what? That makes so much sense because the whole Herb thing too. Wanda was not there, only Vision was. This whole time Agnes has been trying to like sow these seeds of doubt into Vision. Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah.
Well, then, like, what about why would she then introduce Pietro?
so that's somebody that Wanda could turn to, and she confided in Pietro when she was struggling with Vision, right?
Yeah.
And then she had to change tactics when Pietro says, "It's not like you can kill your dead husband twice." And then she had to change tactics at that point. So Pietro went on the back burner for the next episode.
Well, and she like
She got so
threw
mad at
Pietro
that.
far away. Like that's again more of that isolation. She like threw Pietro out of her life and then said, "That's not your uncle. He's not real." So I think that was all part of it.
See, and like, so he says that, right? It's not like your husband could die twice or whatever. And she got so mad about that. But doesn't that seem so in character for him to say something like that?
But also, he has died twice.
yeah,
He
that's
did
what I
die
was-
twice.
Who?
Vision.
Oh, Vision. Yeah.
yeah, because
She killed him, and then Thanos
Thanos.
killed him.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, and it looked like he died a third time when he was outside the wall.
No, he's just he was disintegrating, but they didn't finish it.
He was
something
dying.
something I saw online. So apparently there's some similarities between the way that Vision was falling on the ground to the way that Quicksilver died in Age of Ultron,
Maybe, but
and some similarities of where the pieces were flying off Vision.
there's Easter eggs, and then there's a stretch.
Coincidences.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
know that would be a meaningful Easter egg.
Did anybody see the foreshadowing where like one of Wanda's kids was on the missing kids milk carton?
Mm-hmm.
Was that one? Okay, so I was
Actually,
sure because it was kind of blurry. I couldn't tell, but it looked like one of the kids.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay,
That went so
you remember-
fast I couldn't tell.
Let's talk about another little details. In the opening credits where it's saying Wanda, 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 there was one that was like, it looked like a ransom note cut with magazine letters cut out.
Yep.
And it says, "I know what you're doing, Wanda." Did you guys
I didn't
catch that
notice that.
one? That was
No, I
something
didn't.
I
that,
gotta watch
something
it again
that
and
Vision
watch
had
that.
told her, but
Yeah.
and then we also had the reveal of Monica Rambeau's powers, or at least kind of maybe she's photon, or I think she has another name. It's either spectrum or wavelength or something like that.
Well, she's Captain Marvel at one point.
Yeah, but I think she was manifesting some powers. She was seeing kind of outside the normal spectrum. She was seeing some like ultraviolet or some infrared.
Yeah.
I don't that scene felt a little cheese to me. Like it kind of felt like Neo seeing the Matrix, you know, like
Oh, how it was all like flares and stuff.
yeah.
I mean, I guess my question is, yeah, I see what you're saying. It seems like it's a little glommed on. Like they've been teasing us with this reveal that she has powers, and then it's just like it's kind of like a throwaway thing. I mean, she's
the chosen one.
She gets her superhero entrance, right? The superhero landing,
Which was pretty lame.
Yeah, that's what I'm getting at. It's like what? Why now? Why here? Why is this the place?
She passed her a third time, maybe.
Yeah, but again, that's like it's becoming routine that she just comes in and out as she pleases. It's like,
Yep.
Is it that cool? Like, why now? Why is now the time? The third time's the charm. Now I have powers. I've gone through so many times.
I want to
get
know
powers.
if Darcy's going to have any powers.
I mean,
She
we'll
already
see.
she
It
already
looks-
has power over your
over
heart.
me.
Well, it looks like it
Anna
took.
gets annoyed every time we watch that show. That she was in her little circus outfit. I was like, damn, she's hot. And Anna's like, shut up.
Yeah, I really don't get it.
Oh, I
But-
find her insanely attractive.
I know. I mean, I didn't mind it. I don't know why you guys thought it was so bad. I kind of liked her superhero entrance and how like she could
It's
not
kind of corny.
how she could stand up to Wanda, and I don't know, I thought it was cool. I really liked it. I don't
I
know.
don't know. I feel like it's
That was
like,
one of the things I liked about the episode.
It just felt anticlimactic. Like
yes, that's what I agree, Tyler. I'm with you 100%.
That was
Same
like-
old, same old.
That was like the one time in the episode that I was like, "Oh yeah!" I thought I actually audibly was
'cause you're
excited.
easily fascinated by bright lights, and you know, if she would have had a Batman symbol on her chest, you would have died right there.
Maybe I just think she's hot. Maybe that's what it is.
well, and then
Rambo is very
her
she's
I will-
pretty.
I will say her blue eyes and stuff like looked cool, but like then she came out with like a Star Trek outfit on.
funny. Chris
That was-
Pine was the stand-in for her eyes.
Well, the outfit was like meant to be more of like a space outfit. That's
Yeah, it was
she
the
was in.
Under Armour for her spacesuit when she was driving that the moon rover.
I just thought it's a good thing it's not a red outfit, or she'd be dying on this. You know,
For sure.
Yeah, I just it just felt with superhero entrances, like they've been done so many times with so many different characters. There was nothing unique about hers, right?
In fact,
I guess
yeah, it was
I
like
don't think they were trying to be like she's just figuring it out. It was on accident. I don't
Yeah,
No.
but like for a show that is so, I would call this show a groundbreaking show, right? It's one unique idea after another, right? And for a show that's been constantly doing these unique ideas to do something that's so vanilla, I don't know.
well, and it was
I'm impressed
confusing
by it.
too. I was just like, okay, she's got powers
Yeah,
now.
yeah.
I don't really.
well,
know
do
why.
we really even know what her powers are yet? We still
No.
don't even know.
Light.
She can land on the ground really good. I don't.
Yeah, she had a really cool backflip. Yeah, that was really neat.
I'm pretty sure she can shoot things.
How do you know?
I mean,
Well,
that's the
I know-
comics,
I know,
but it
I know the
doesn't.
comics, but
Yeah, it doesn't mean it's going to be the same.
We don't
way.
know. We have no idea. We don't know what she can do. She does it. She did the superhero landing, and there was like some flashing, and Some flashing lights, I mean. And
anything that has a name like Superhero Landing and we immediately have an image in our head of what that looks like, that is the definition of vanilla. It's like,
but you know
it's
how
like,
you know
hey,
who
what do
had
you
a
mean by Superhero Landing? Like none of us question that. We're like, oh yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
you know who had a better superhero entrance was the Blue Raja in Mystery Men. He's the guy that throws silverware for his superpower.
I love Mystery Men. Paul Rubens.
But not knives, though. He doesn't throw
Not knives. He
knives.
throws forks and spoons, and not knives. Not knives. That's too.
Oh, I love that show.
There's another guy that throws knives, and he doesn't want to step on his toes.
I watched that movie with my kids, and my kids were like, "Dad, this is stupid."
Oh, it's the dumbest movie in the world.
Dude, I thought it was awful.
Yeah, it's hilarious though.
I want to
Mystery Men.
It.
Mystery
first time
Men
I
is to
saw it, I hated it.
superhero movies what Galaxy Quest is to Star Trek movies.
Galaxy Quest is really funny, though.
Yeah, because you put Alan Rickman in it.
So yeah, so I don't think the Monica Rambeau superhero reveal is done yet. I think there's still a long ways to go on that before I'm impressed. The Agatha Harkness reveal would have been a dud, except for the really kicking theme song she gave us.
Yeah, it was Agatha all along, or however it goes.
Agatha all along.
Oh, man, Yeah, remind me of the Monsters.
Yeah,
I think you
exactly.
said
That's
that
what.
in our text, right?
Yeah, that's what it was supposed to remind you of. The Munsters and the Addams Family, those
Yeah.
kind of quirky, dark comedy shows.
So WandaVision is essentially a show within a show within a show.
Yeah.
The way it made it seem like WandaVision was actually a show within it was me all along, or it was Agatha all along, which is in
Agatha
WandaVision,
all along,
which is in the MCU, which is in Disney, which is in this universe.
which is in your face.
And then yeah, so I was just looking up Photon's powers, and from what I'm reading, and I don't have a lot of familiarity with this character. I just remember her briefly in certain things I've read. But essentially her powers seem the same as Invisible Woman. A lot of
So
them.
she can
turn
change light
invisible.
bulbs.
She can turn invisible. She has control over cosmic rays, gamma rays, X-rays, ultraviolet radiation. This is why having Matt on this show is of benefit to us. Because he has read way more comic books than I have.
Neat.
But
Her
I don't
powers
know.
are so neat.
It's so neat. So neat. But I don't know. This episode felt kind of lackluster, but it did feel good to say, ha, I was right. Right? Like it was Agatha Harkness. Like you got those little moments like, oh yeah, I was right about this, you know? So a little confirmation, but nothing mind-blowing. I think the mind-blowing is going to come next episode.
I really hope so. I hope that they don't have like a ton of reveals. Well, I mean, they're gonna have some reveals in the last episode, but I'd rather a lot of the story come together next episode so we can finally get like the conclusion in the final.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a two-parter. Like I think you're going to get a very clear. We haven't had one of those like to be continued end title screens yet. I wonder if the next episode will end with the to be continued or something like that.
Oh, that could be interesting.
Yeah,
That could be cool.
but I think it'll be a two-parter. Like I think next week and the week after would pretty much be one episode. Just why else would they be making them longer? I don't know.
I don't know.
But I really hope Michael Fassbender shows up.
I think that'd be really cool, but there's also rumors that Doctor Strange is going to show up. I mean, I don't know. It's the MCU. They could pack a lot of characters into this.
So I know excuse me, I got the hiccups all of a sudden. I know a lot of people have been saying it's Doctor Strange, but from what I've read from people that are actually working within the production, they're saying that it's not Doctor Strange. That's not the big reveal.
I saw those things too, Lance. I think you're right. I think it's either going to be nobody like it was this week, or it's going to be something earth-shaking.
Epic.
I'm going to be
that's
pretty
the only thing I
disappointed
think
if it's
do that.
nobody.
Yeah, we're all going to be disappointed if it's nobody, Max. I'm not rooting for nobody.
No, I know that, but like because of Paul Bettany's quote this week, where it's an actor that he's been longing to work with his whole life, like, you know what I mean? There's something.
There's only one person I could think of that has been around as long as Paul Bettany has been alive that would have any sort of impact in the MCU.
Betty White.
And it's Patrick Stewart.
Betty White, yeah.
But no, somebody that's impactful in the MCU. Like the only one that I can think of is Patrick Stewart. Like he's the one with the pedigree over anybody else in the MCU, if you think about it.
Yeah. Okay.
Unless they get Clint Eastwood to play old Chris Evans.
Sir Ian McKellen.
Ian McKellen. Yeah, that's a good one too. But I think Ian McKellen, like if they brought in Magneto, it would only make sense to me that they bring Fassbender.
Yeah, I think that would be the better choice.
Just because you can, Ian McKellen, he's not getting any younger, right? So if you're going to bring somebody in to have like a real like stake in the MCU going forward, it would have to be Fassbender. McKellen
or a new actor.
Solution. Or a new actor. But I honestly think if they cast somebody over Fassbender, like people will revolt. Marvel fans.
I mean, I love Fassbender and I would love for it to be him, but if they cast somebody good, I'm not going to be mad.
Or maybe Mephisto is played by a long.
That's what I'm starting to wonder. Is if Mephisto is played by somebody like big and they just haven't revealed it.
But here's the thing. So he's supposedly in like Mephisto and Agatha are supposedly That wasn't me.
What?
Whose car was that?
Someone's race car.
Sorry.
Got race cars
My
outside
window's open because of the nice
Who's
weather.
driving like that next to your house? Oh, you live. But
I live right on the big street.
So, I mean, I could only think like it would have to be somebody that is Catherine Hahn's like close to proximity in age, right?
Not necessarily.
What if it's Ron Swanson? What if Mephisto is played by Ron Swanson?
That'd be great.
I don't know. That'd be cool. I hope if Mephisto is a thing.
Ron Swanson.
Who doesn't?
Oh man, Nick Off. Well, I have a crush on Ron Swanson. Nick Offerman himself is fine, but I like the character Ron Swanson better.
You look like Ron Swanson.
That's what you keep saying. I don't see it, but I'm okay to take that.
I look like I ate a lot of Swansons.
What are swans?
I did eat bacon for dinner.
Those frozen things, the trucks, isn't that
Schwans?
Schwans.
That's Schwans.
Hey, they don't all stick, dude. They don't all land. All right.
Okay. So I hope if
I'm
we
allowed
are
a dud every now and then. All right. What were you saying, Max?
I was just saying if we're gonna get Mephisto, I really hope they reveal it next week, and I hope that it is a big actor because last week when Matt was on, we were talking about the fact that Mephisto is Satan of the Marvel universe. He is the devil. He's a big character, and if he does,
as little Nicky,
if he does show up in WandaVision, he's not going to be done in WandaVision.
Oh no,
he's going to be the villain for a while. Potentially, he could be the next Thanos of the next 10 years.
I don't know. Or if he's that big.
No, I don't either. I think it might be more like a Galactus or something. But like at the very least, he'll be the villain in like Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness or something. I don't know. I would hate for a character as big as Mephisto to be only in this one property.
And it could not. It could also not be Mephisto. It could be Nightmare, which is also a big villain.
Yeah, I'm pretty convinced it's Mephisto because of something that we were talking.
The toy releases have also Mephisto.
Oh, the Funko Pop.
Yeah, the Funko Pops.
Spoilage.
But I mean, it could be or it couldn't be. I mean, toys usually are fairly accurate if they're official toys.
If it's Funko and it has the Wanda, like, I would totally.
It was the same. Is the same leak that said it was going to be Agatha Harkness dressed in like a witch costume.
Yeah,
looking like Catherine Hahn and not like her comic book appearance.
Which was again another clue in the last episode when she was dressed as a witch. I just didn't want to see it. I was just like, nah. They're teasing me. No, it was right in front of my face. And
I was tired of them playing this little game. I was ready for them to do the reveal so we can get on to bigger and better things.
They finally did. That's the only thing that threw me off in this. Well, not the only thing. One of the things that threw me off in this episode was that it just felt short. Like we got a decent episode, but then at the end you find that it's Agatha and it was over. I was expecting to get a little bit of the fallout in this episode. Yeah, we got that mid-credit scene, which was cool. That was nice. We got to see Pietro again.
Yeah, what was it? Snooper's gonna snoop. Is that all?
Yeah,
he
it wasn't. Snoop. And we don't even know. Did he push her in? Like what? We don't even know. It's just all teases.
He's a bad guy. I really don't think he's a bad guy. I think he's an arrogant little dude, which is what I love. That's the one thing I hated about Aaron Taylor Johnson's Quicksilver and why I love Evan Peters' Quicksilver. It's because he's a little arrogant dude.
But I got the impression she created him, though.
No, it
looked like a puppet, like she was puppeteering him.
Yeah, I don't know if she created him or she just brought him there. You know what I mean? Like,
all right, but here's the real question I have for you, Lance, and Tyler also, because you know AE. Does Quicksilver remind you of our buddy AE with the bow tie?
No.
Every time I see him, I'm like, dude, he looks just like AE.
I don't see that, dude. The white of the eyes, maybe.
I'm trying to picture him in those clothes, and I don't know.
I don't see it.
I love. I always think about AE.
By the way, congratulations to our good friend AE who got married.
Yeah, if you guys are not familiar, AE Reed Skiffley is one of the friends of our podcast, and he was married a couple weeks ago and should be back from his honeymoon by now. So congratulations to AE, and wish you and your
longtime friend of the show. Yeah. He was so the first I want to say the first panel that we did at Comic-Con that Sam was on, AE was there. Right?
Yeah, we were doing Movie Mechanic Live and rewriting disappointing movies, and he was there and he participated in all of them. And then he came to every single panel we did.
No, dude, I love that dude. I love that dude. Him and Quantum Kyle, both old friends of the show. I think we met them about the same time. Quantum Kyle has a different story though. I don't know if I've ever told it on air. I think he was 13 when we met him.
He was at our superhero Tinder 18, not the 18 plus one. We were at the all ages, and he wanted to turn it 18 plus.
But he was like 13 at the time, I think.
13, yeah. So
didn't he say like it was a room full of people, like it was a packed house, and he said something. He's like, when you F her or something like that, and everybody's like, what? Like the whole room erupted. Like, what the hell is this kid talking about? Like,
he was who's never even done that.
Yeah, he was trying. He was trying to elicit reaction.
He was
trying to make himself look older.
That's not exactly what happened. What happened was he said something that sounded very naive, and we kind of teased him about it, and so he went way off, way overcompensated, and he started saying some really kind of adult things.
Yeah.
Like, oh, okay.
Where we said when we do this again, it's going to be 18 over.
Man, we need the world open back up. I want to do a panel. I haven't done one since the first year we did it because I moved to Colorado
and more panels together than anyone else. I think
I've only done one panel because the second one that I was going to do, there was like a fire drill at the Fan Fest that year, and we all got evacuated.
Where we had to wait outside the entire night until we could get
that was the first time I met the Couch Crunchers.
Yeah.
I was at that panel.
We're standing outside, and everybody's like,
yeah.
Yeah. Everybody's like, why don't you just go? Why don't you just go? It's like, because my computer's in there, my microphones are in there, like everything we had, because they made it seem like leave your stuff and you'll be able to get back in a little bit.
Leave your stuff. Leave your bulletproof vest. Come out here. Like that was the one where that guy tried to kill Jason David Franks. Right?
No, that was a couple years before that because I didn't go to that year. The first year I went was the year.
I thought it was the same
a year
one.
or two.
I thought it was the same one.
The first year I went was like either a year or two after that had happened because that's when they started doing. You couldn't bring the fake weapons in and stuff. It was the
No,
first year I went. You couldn't bring the foam swords or anything in.
no,
I
it was
promise you, I was not
props at all. You couldn't bring props at all.
Yeah, I was not there.
No,
the
you're
year
right.
That yeah,
It was
the first year I went is
the
when they had
Jason
everything
David
locked
Franks
down.
thing was 1 year before,
Mm-hmm.
and then I met you guys at the one where they evacuated, and I was like, "Are we just all sitting ducks out here, standing on the sidewalk?" And I'm like, "We got to get out of here."
Yeah, and all I could think about was I had a brand new laptop, a $3,000 laptop sitting in there. I had brand new microphones,
ripe
brand
for the
new.
plucking.
I know, and all I could think about was there's some kid that just hit the lottery. He's gonna go around just ripping everybody off. No, they finally had to escort us through the building. That was a horrible night. My first experience of Comic-Con. It was my first day there, I want to say.
That was the first time you went to Comic-Con?
First time.
Wow, dude.
That's what I remember, because that's why I remember it wasn't the Jason David Frank, because everybody was talking about the Jason David Frank thing on my first year there.
Yeah, so
they were all pissed about the props.
The first year I went, I didn't dress up. I took my wife and my kids, and we didn't know what we were getting into. And there's probably 150,000 people there that day. And it was packed. And we were like struggling to keep an eye on our kids in the big crowd. And then, believe it or not, the next year was even bigger. And we didn't take our kids that time, except for the youngest who had just been born. And then the next year, I was figuring it was going to be even bigger than that. But then and it was. But then the year after that, the population declined sharply because they had the security issue with Jason David Franks. And the security lines were so long that you had to stand outside in the heat, and it was just it's awful. And so the attendance dropped dramatically, and it's been kind of on a decline ever since. And then last year they canceled both of their events.
Yeah, I remember how upset I was, because that's why I like going to Tucson, because we go to Tucson, and when you're a press or a vendor or a panelist, you're treated like royalty. They have special entrance for you to go into. Like, it's so nice. But in Phoenix, you're wearing this special badge that they make, and you still got to go through this long line, everything. Like, if you have a panel at 10 in the morning, you better show up there at like 8.
We showed up like an hour and a half early and still almost missed it.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy.
Yeah. But
anyway, AE, we wish you a wonderful, happy matrimony honeymoon. Hope you guys are doing well. At any rate, back to the show.
I was going to say who I want to see on the show. I want James McAvoy, but from Split. I want to see Patricia on the show. I think that'd be great.
So here's something interesting. You were talking about attendance. So of the Phoenix Comic-Con, Sam, I hate to take us back on that, but they stopped releasing the last 2 years what the attendance was, because it got all the way up to 106,000 5 years ago. Then it dropped to 80. Then it dropped to 57. And then the last 2 years, they haven't told us what it is.
Yeah, it's been, 2020, they didn't have any attendance. It was canceled altogether.
Yeah.
But it has been declining sharply because of security issues primarily. And that's caused these huge lines. And quite frankly, the amount of star power that they've been bringing hasn't been as high caliber since they had the
Gregg is supposed
issues.
to be there this year.
Because of the security issues, the star power hasn't been as big. No one wants to go. But ironically, Jason David Franks keeps coming. Like, he came back after that guy tried to kill him. Like, he doesn't care. But the rest of the guys are like, no way. And then
the dude trained MMA fighter. Like,
he's a badass for sure.
I doubt there's a whole lot that scares him.
He's not just a Power Ranger. He's a real life badass. And
yeah. He's a fully devout Christian that also goes and kicks guys' ass in the UFC.
Yeah, he's awesome. I'm a freaking Jason David Franks fan. Like, I think he would be awesome in Cobra Kai.
I wanted him to be Bloodshot.
Oh yeah. Yeah, he'd
Yeah,
be
because
awesome.
there was a comic where they used him as the
The
model for the main character.
Yeah,
But
I love Jason David Franks. Franks,
not plural.
It is. Are you sure? Jason David
Positive.
Franks.
He's the Green Ranger. That's all that matters.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you're right. It's Frank.
And gold and white.
I'm
right?
telling you, dude, I'm an OG Power Rangers fan. OG.
I know. Tommy Oliver was awesome.
He was my favorite. I remember I had the episode where he showed up as Green Ranger on VHS growing up. I rewatched that thing over and over again. It was my jam.
Yeah, my brother and I were the red and black Power Rangers for 1 year. The very next year, green, and I think he was black again or something like that. I don't remember. But we dressed up as all the Power Rangers, had all the toys, like the metal die-cast toys. Power Rangers was legit.
That was great.
Hey,
man.
Max is back. Let's finish talking about WandaVision.
I don't know. There's not a whole lot. I mean, we see that the world is starting to deteriorate, right? So that was something big that was happening. I think what has happened is the hex has gotten so big that now it's a little bit bigger than what Wanda can maintain, and we see some of the props in the show are changing generations. I thought that was a cool trick too. They're playing the video games, and it goes from a Wii controller to a GameCube to Uno cards to Atari controller or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's pretty
The
cool.
TV
See,
is doing the same
she's
thing.
losing grasp on everything that's happening, and she doesn't know why. She doesn't know if it's her. It could be Agatha messing with her. We don't know.
Yeah.
I mean,
I think it is. I think Agatha is trying to make her feel like she's losing her grip.
yeah, the return of the stork
Yeah.
was there. I know we were all sitting on the edge of our seat when that stork was
Couldn't
gonna go
wait.
back.
Like, oh, it's back finally! Yay!
My favorite character.
Well, like this episode was all about
That's the well-trained
Wanda.
stork.
It was all about Wanda being depressed. And
Well, did you notice in that? I don't know if you we talked about the credits, that the majority of the credits, like 95% of it, was all Wanda.
yeah, she was all alone. I noticed
Yeah,
that. I'm
I
like,
thought that
there's
was
no
cool.
Vision until the end. Like, okay, which had me concerned that Vision wasn't going to be in the episode at all, and I'm glad that wasn't the case, and that we got to catch up with him again.
But he really wasn't that much.
And
Yeah,
and
I mean-
what he was in the episode was pretty dull.
It wasn't the greatest part, but I'm still glad we got some, because at the end of the last episode, you're like, what's going on? Is he dead? Is he going to remember everything? We at least got some answers that he did.
Well, I'm glad we got some
Remember.
too, because that gave us more Kat Dennings.
Well, and and to be fair, one of my favorite parts of the episode was when he's interviewing and he's like, "Why am I sitting here talking to you?" Like, that was pretty funny. Like, just catching himself. Like,
Yeah.
He was pretty funny. Like the in this episode, like everything he was saying was pretty funny. Like when he was yelling at the strong man as they were trying to leave, I was chuckling a little bit. Like, so he had the big comedic things in this episode.
Yeah. And I think everyone could relate to construction getting in your way,
Yeah.
and then a crosswalk full of children.
In the same,
Like-
so it was red light, it turns green, construction. Then the construction leaves, crosswalk, all in the same intersection.
There was
In
no
the middle of
school around,
nowhere.
nothing around, no reason for it.
And he dips out and he just leaves Darcy there like an asshole. Like, why don't you pick her up and take her with you?
Darcy was funny. She's like, I guess I'll meet you there. Okay.
Like last time I checked, you could
comedy.
pick people up.
The comedy was pretty good in this one. I haven't watched much Modern Family. It clearly seemed inspired by it. I'm wondering if I wouldn't like Modern Family, because there were some things about the episode, like the style of like the sitcom portion, that I was just like, I'm not feeling this. Other the
Well,
Vision
if
stuff I
you
thought
like-
was funny.
If you like The Office, I mean, it's the same. I mean, the humor's different, but the general idea of this TV show of normal people being interviewed. it's
No,
same
the
as
interview.
Office.
Yeah, I know. I'm saying the comedy style. If that's what Modern Family is like, maybe I wouldn't like the show. I've heard good things and I want to watch it. I just haven't.
It's funny. It's funny.
Well,
yeah,
clearly
Modern
it's-
Family's funny.
I think it's on like season 11, so clearly people like it.
Phil
No,
Dunphy
it's
is
gone.
just hilarious.
Oh, is it finally over now?
Modern Family ended last year.
Yeah, well, it got a ton of seasons. It was extremely successful.
Yeah, it won a ton of Emmys and all that stuff. Yeah, it's a funny show.
Yeah.
But did you notice the theme song was influenced by The Office?
Yeah. It seemed like it had
like that single note piano type thing.
I didn't notice that.
Yeah, I felt more of The Office in the episode than I did.
It's definitely Modern Family. It's definitely Modern Family. Like even the house, the way the house was decorated was Modern Family.
Well, I'm not saying that it wasn't. Like, I think it was a combination of the two, but
it was that era of television.
Right.
Yeah. But I mean, she was dressed up like kind of like a typical soccer mom type thing. Like I think she was supposed to be the Thai kind of character, just less dumb.
Okay, so let me ask this. Is the sitcom thing over now? Do we think now that Agatha's revealed herself, is that going to be over?
I think we're going to see glimpses of where it's going to be pulled back into it as they're trying to reconstruct. I think the last episode's going to see everything erupt, right? But this next episode may be them trying to put Wanda back under. So we might see, maybe we see the reintroduction of like just quick snippets of it, right? Where she keeps snapping out of it.
Yeah. Can it be next Friday? Sense.
Huh?
Man, can it be next Friday?
I know. I want this show to end just so I can know what the hell's going on. But I think you're gonna get a bunch of different things. The one thing that I'm not that I think is a missed opportunity with this show is not a single cameo of a character, of an actress or actor who's famous from any one of those shows playing their character. I think that would have been amazing if they would have gotten a Bob Saget to play a neighbor or something like that.
Yeah.
But at some point, I mean, they had Dick Van Dyke as a
consultant
on the first episode. Like, not even a cameo. Like, hey, I'm Dick Van Dyke. How you doing? You know what I mean? Like, something. You're doing a whole series of all these different eras of sitcom, and you don't get one person that's famous for those to come in. You know, could have been just like Wanda goes to the grocery store and the checker is Norm from Cheers or something. Like, it could have been anything, and they didn't do any of it. That was disappointing. Closest we got was Deborah Jo Rupp playing the boss's wife from That 70s Show.
Yeah. Which they haven't really come back up.
No, and she's still getting credits on all the end credits. Did you see that?
No.
This last episode, she wasn't even in. It says Deborah Jo Rupp in the end credits.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she's still getting credits. And then Evan Peters' name comes up, and I'm like, oh, that's weird. He wasn't in the episode. And then 5 seconds later, we see the end credit scene. I was like, oh, that makes sense.
Yeah.
But they could have gotten somebody. Do you guys feel the same way? Like a missed opportunity there?
Well, I think that would have been cool. I mean,
I think it would have been cool, but I get why they didn't do it.
Why?
Because look how much we're in the MCU.
Yes. So there's that. And then I also feel like, I mean, you see how much everyone is speculating about this episode every single week? Not just podcasters. I mean, even just like, anybody is speculating about this. If you had these actors that are like big coming in that weren't there previously, people would start speculating about that. Ooh, so-and-so's there. Are they going to be a player in the MCU? Or I don't know.
Well, but have the actress come in and play themselves. Like, you have Bob Saget, and it's actually Bob Saget playing Bob Saget. And he's just like one of the trapped people in the neighborhood. Say he lives there, and he's just one of the trapped people.
Nathan Fillion playing Nathan Fillion would have been good.
Yeah, but he's not famous for a sitcom.
Yeah, Nathan Fillion playing his character from Firefly, playing the deadhead in Santa Clarita Diet.
He could have been on the Halloween episode dressed up as himself in Firefly.
Yeah, I don't know. I just thought it was a missed opportunity. I mean, you literally have the Olsen twins' sister as the main character. You couldn't get one of them.
Yeah,
to come in and be an obnoxious neighbor or obnoxious coworker or something.
Yeah,
I
don't know.
I hear you. But
But
I don't think that's a big deal. But it would have been cool if they would have done it for sure.
I just thought it was a missed opportunity. I don't think it makes the show any worse or better or whatever, but it would just been fun. I was looking for more fun in some of these episodes. The main draw of these episodes is not so much fun as it was originally advertised, but it's more so unlock the mystery, right? It's what those shows like Lost and all those shows where you're at the end of the episode, you're like, what the hell just happened? And you're trying to solve it. That's what this show is bringing us, is solving the mystery. There's a lot less fun in it that I was kind of expecting before the show started. In those first 2 episodes, we got a lot of fun. It was more fun, and now it's gotten into more of what the hell's going on.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Well,
Anything else of note that you guys
In this episode?
in this episode? I don't think so, right? And that's what leads me to think that, the last 2 episodes were much better.
I had a lot of fun with the Quicksilver, and he was not in this episode very much, so I was really missing his presence. He was a lot of fun.
Well, Evan
Well,
Peters, I love that dude.
yeah. I think it makes sense, though. I think it makes sense to, tone it down for an episode and then just like have that be like a build up to the last 2 episodes. Like it just makes sense to, just have that be like laying a foundation for the next couple episodes.
Oh, okay. I do have one more thing that I want to say. This drives me nuts in so many TV shows, but I get it. It makes the story take longer and add suspense. But Monica Rambeau shows up and she starts telling Wanda that there's a problem. Wanda won't listen and throws her out. Well, then what does Monica do? She just starts arguing rather than like trying to explain to her what's going on. And it just bugged me. Like I've just seen so many TV shows where it's like a character has an important piece of information to give you, but they won't give you the piece of information because it would make the story wrap up too quickly.
I kind of feel like while she was arguing, she's saying Hayward is doing this, and she wasn't letting her finish.
No, you're right. So that's how she started. She started off by saying Hayward is, the enemy or whatever. Wanda threw her back, and then from that point, she just started arguing with Wanda about nothing really.
Yeah.
I don't know. It wasn't like the worst. I just was like, you could have pushed this more and really tried to get Wanda to listen to you.
But I think there was also a little bit of she was a little scared in that moment.
Yeah, maybe.
As well. Maybe giving too much or maybe being too pushy sends her back through the wall again.
Yeah, maybe.
Well, she was pretty pushy though. She was like, "Go ahead, attack me then." know. So she's kind of daring her. So I don't know. The whole exchange was just kind of a little bit off. Like the whole thing with Monica Rambeau, like going in, getting her powers, and then talking to Wanda, it was all just kind of, it felt a little off.
I mean, did she get her powers then, or did she already have them? That's another thing about her that I'm not getting.
It's too confusing.
Because they had this thing when she was at S.W.O.R.D headquarters about superpowered people getting created, and she kind of had this weird nod and this kind of wink and nod at Hayward. And then when she was getting her x-rays, they came back all white as if she's emitting x-rays and it's spoiling the imaging. And now she's having these kind of exhibitions of power, and it's like, what is really going on with her? And when they did the superhero landing in like the front yard, it was just kind of like, that was a cool moment, or it could have been a cool moment if it was in a different setting and they weren't just kind of feeding us piecemeal what's going on with her.
Yeah. I don't know.
I think she was kind of seeing it already. I think she still needs to pass through one more time because I don't think they're all there yet.
That's what I'm talking about, man. It's like, I don't think that's what's triggering her powers. I don't think that has anything to do with it.
The hex?
Yeah.
Oh, I do.
It seemed like it did to me, but
I think it's
don't-
I think it's a red
all
herring.
related.
I think it's a
all
red
related.
herring.
Yeah, I don't know. You might be right, because if nobody turns out to be this aerospace engineer, that was a red herring right there. The little hiding of the cell phone and everything else.
Right?
Well, I mean, they
You
talked
know.
about in a previous episode how passing through that kept changing her DNA, and changing.
Yeah, but they don't even fully understand it yet. So they were just
Yeah,
speaking
neither
by
does the
hypothesis.
audience. So
Yeah.
it's just,
Oh, can we talk about one more thing? Jimmy Woo's the best. I just love him. That's all.
who?
Well
Jimmy
said.
Woo. He's just
Oh
great.
yeah.
He wasn't in the episode a lot, but I love him.
I really want them to make a show that's Jimmy Woo and Darcy going out in like the X-Files and looking for aliens and stuff. Like, I think that would be awesome. Or at least like a mini episodes or something, like little 15-minute fillers or something.
Give us one shots again.
Except there wouldn't be any arguments about are aliens real, because they kind of already figured that out.
Yeah, but you know what I'm saying? Like investigating supernatural.
Yeah, no, I think
Things.
that would be cool too. I'm with you. I think
Like
that'd be fun.
Jimmy Woo could be the new Agent Coulson of the MCU. Like going out and like recruiting and stuff like that. Like they could make a whole show off of that, and I would watch the hell out of it.
I'd be so game if Jimmy Woo was like the new Agent Coulson, but they don't kill him in the next Avengers movie. Keep him around for a bit.
They'd have to
Yeah.
kill him like 7 more times after that too.
Well, the Phil Coulson thing never paid off. No one ever found out that he was alive because Agents of S.W.O.R.D. didn't really exist within the MCU. It was all a lie. But anyway, I digress.
So do you guys want to give? I don't think there was really anything else to talk about this episode. Do you guys want to give our ratings?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. So Tyler, we'll start with you, buddy.
Okay. Yeah, I just thought it was fine. There's obvious things about it that I would change, mostly about Rambo, I guess. But yeah, I'll give it a 3. 3 out of 5. Wasn't
Sam,
terrible, but wasn't great.
Yeah, right. Sam, what about you?
Yeah, I felt like the last 2 episodes were the high watermark so far. So I can't help but come down on this particular episode. So I'm going to give it a 3.5.
What was the highest rating you've given on any one of these episodes so far?
4.
4?
Didn't you do
think-
4.5? No?
I think the last one was 4.5.
Yeah.
I
Max,
really
what
enjoyed
about-
the last one.
Yeah, the last one was great. The last 2 were just the pinnacle of this whole series, I think. Max, what about you?
I've been struggling going back and forth, but I think I gave the first 2 episodes like a 3.5, and I think this episode was better than the first 2, but not really. So I think I'm gonna do 3.5.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it. Could have been a lot better though. It's definitely not as good as the last 2.
I think so. I've given the last 2 episodes high marks. I gave them perfect scores. 5 couch cushions for the last 2, and throw pillow and an ottoman.
You guys
and a
hear
mini
this?
Fridge and
Have you guys noticed how many times Lance has been going off camera? Are you drinking
yeah.
over there? Couch
Boozing it up.
cushions, and I give this
No, I'm a very what's the word? Oh crap, I can't even think of it. When I'm drunk, I can operate pretty clearly. So you would never know.
Okay, all right.
Functional. I'm a functional drunk.
Yeah. What was that word again?
Functional.
I'm a functional flunk.
All right. So the last 2 episodes I've given those 5 cushions, and everything else, the throw pillow and ottoman and the mini fridge and the car in the driveway and everything else. But this episode, I do not think it was as good. I hesitate to give it a 4 because those last 2 episodes I watched 3 times and I was excited every time to do it. I tried watching this episode a second time and I fell asleep halfway through. But that's not to say it was bad. So I think I'm going to agree with you guys and go 3.5.
Cool.
But I'm teetering between 3.5 and 4, but 3.5, I think. So let's talk about some news. So lots of stuff has happened in the last couple days. Specifically, Joss Whedon is getting canceled.
Do we have a Fabric Flub ticker you can put up?
Oh yeah, thanks, dude.
Sorry, it helps me to put timestamps in the podcast when I do it. Thanks.
No problem. So Joss Whedon's getting canceled. I don't know if you guys saw that. So the whole, even people from his critically acclaimed TV shows are coming out against him, all except Sarah Michelle Gellar, that just says, I'm not going to say anything, but I support everybody speaking their truth. So there's not really much comment on that that we need to make at this time. But the biggest thing I want to talk about is yesterday, Disney officially acquired the rights back of both The Punisher and Jessica Jones, which I am beyond elated about.
Yeah, dude. I'm excited about that.
And they now own 3 of the 5 Defenders, if I'm not mistaken. Right?
I thought these were the last ones they needed.
Yeah, that's what I thought too.
Well, Jessica Jones premiered.
I thought Jessica Jones was the last one they didn't have.
It was the last one.
So they have Iron Fist and Luke Cage already?
Yeah.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, I think it's just a matter of what I was reading today is Mike Coulter, who plays Luke Cage, is already on some other projects, and they probably won't be able to get him. Yeah, they probably won't be able to get him back, is what I was hearing.
Yeah, and I think he's the only one that's really doing anything right now. Well, Finn, whatever his name is, but they definitely don't want him back. But out of Charlie Cox, Jessica, Kristen Ritter, and John Bernthal, I don't think those 3 are doing anything right now. But Mike Coulter's got some critically acclaimed projects going on. Evil is so good. Have you guys watched that on Netflix?
Yeah,
No.
it's very good.
Yeah, I know you've watched it, Sam. That's a very good show. So he's got other stuff. So maybe he doesn't even want to come back to the MCU. I don't know why he wouldn't, but I think that if you get at least John Bernthal and Charlie Cox, you're sitting good.
I really want Kristen Ritter back. I really think she was fantastic.
I like Kristen Ritter, but she's not a deal breaker for me.
Fair.
John Bernthal's the deal breaker for me.
Yeah.
You have to get him back. He's the top of my list, more so than Charlie Cox. He's the top.
Yeah, they were both seriously fantastic. All the Netflix shows, Jessica Jones, Daredevil, and Punisher, all 3 of those are some of my favorite television. They're so good.
Well,
the last season of Jessica
Luke Cage
Jones wasn't very good in my opinion,
Yeah.
but the first season of Jessica Jones was stellar. Both Punisher seasons were great. All 3 of the Daredevil were fantastic. So good, man. So
I didn't
good.
much
Yeah.
care for one of the seasons of Daredevil. I don't remember which one it was.
Second one.
Second one.
Really?
But the
I
first
love that
season of
one.
Luke
I
Cage,
loved it.
out of all those Netflix Marvel shows, the first season of Luke Cage, everything except the after
Cottonmouth.
Cottonmouth dies. After Cottonmouth dies sucks. Everything before Cottonmouth dies is the best that Marvel Netflix has come out with.
Yeah, it felt like they were really trying to get a superpowered villain in there, and so Cottonmouth gets killed, but he was a way better character.
Oh, so much.
Yeah.
So much better.
What was it, like 5 or 6 episodes before he dies, Sam?
Yeah, it was so
That's
good.
the best that Marvel Netflix ever came out with. Like, it's so good.
I mean, I did really enjoy the first couple episodes of Daredevil. There's that scene where he's fighting, and it's like it's all one shot. It's very very reminiscent of Old Boy with the hammer, and he's kind of knocking heads in this hallway, and it looks like it's all one take, and it's like 5 or 6 minutes long. It was really fun.
That became kind of a calling card for that show. Like every season had one of those big
they
one shot.
They one-upped it every time.
Yeah. So there was one, I want to say it was season 2, where it's in the prison with Wilson Fisk and John Bernthal, right?
Yeah.
Isn't it a one shot?
I don't think John Bernthal was in there. There's a prison sequence in season 3 of Daredevil where Charlie Cox is himself escaping the prison.
No,
John
no,
Bernthal-
Bernthal's in
Murdoch.
it too, right?
Not
No,
in season 3.
there's a very big scene with John Bernthal in season 2 of Daredevil.
Yeah, but I don't think it's like a one-shot sequence. It was just a freaking bad A action sequence.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, you may be right about
But
that.
every season had a one shot, right?
Yes, the
Yeah.
season 3 one was like seriously like 6-7 minutes. It was pretty cool. It was like the whole prison. It's really
Yeah.
good. In fact, I might throw it on as soon as we're done with the podcast tonight because it's really good. I love one-shot stuff though. I'm a sucker for it.
Well, that's what was so good about
1917.
1917.
I freaking love that.
That's the best part of that whole movie is just the continuous shot. And then what was the other thing? Was there anything else you guys wanted that was big?
There's a couple things. So they cast a Supergirl for the DCEU.
And she's Latina, right?
Her
Which I
name
think
is
pretty cool.
Sasha Calle or Kaye.
Yeah, I saw this casting. I don't have anything for or against it. I'm not really familiar with the actress, but I like the idea.
She's only famous from what do they call it? Soap opera.
Oh, really?
Telenovela.
No, it was like Young and the Restless or something.
Oh, okay.
It was an American one, but
All right.
she won some awards for a soap opera.
Dude, Lance, you're gonna love this. She is Argentine.
Hell yeah,
Yeah, dude.
represent.
That's really cool. That's really cool.
I didn't realize that.
Yeah, well, you were saying that she was Latina, and so I just Googled Sasha Calle ethnicity, and it says Argentina.
Yeah, Young and the Restless. She was on.
Well, hold on. Argentina born. Okay, her dad was born in Argentina, it looks like. One of her parents is Argentine, one of them is Colombian. So she's a mix, but the point is she's definitely Latina.
She looks Colombian too.
Yeah.
We
I think
need
it's
more
cool.
Argentine representation in superhero comics, guys.
Yeah, man. Well, my thing is I
Some
just like
empanada, meat loving.
I like
superheroes.
getting some of these more unknown people in roles. I mean, look at Henry Cavill. Like he had done some stuff before Man of Steel. Like my wife and I were just watching Stardust last night, and I don't know if you guys remember, he plays a role in that movie. Pretty side character.
He was like kind of Monte Cristo too.
Yeah, so he's been in some stuff, but he wasn't like
He was in the Tudors. He was in the Tudors series. He was the son in the Count of Monte Cristo with Jim Caviezel.
Jeez, that's an old movie. I didn't realize he was around that long.
Anyway,
That
the
was when he
point
was
is,
16 years old. He's my age.
yeah, the point is Henry Cavill wasn't like some big known actor, and now he's Superman, and I love that. I think that's really cool.
Well, hopefully he continues being Superman.
Fair enough, but the point I'm trying to make is I like when someone is less known and gets a big role like this. I think it's exciting, and it can be a great way to expose audiences to a new actor. Whether or not you like the Star Wars sequels, I think Daisy Ridley's a pretty good actress, and now she's getting more roles, and she was the same idea of like really was unknown, got the lead role in a massive franchise, and that's
Who's
a
the
Star
girl
Wars
from Rogue
thing.
One.
Felicity Jones.
I want to see more of her.
She's beautiful. I've definitely got a crush on her, but she's not. I don't think she was like as unknown. She's definitely been in some stuff, but
I've had this argument for a while, right? And you and I have talked about it, that I think DC sometimes with their characters goes for a flashy name. Jared Leto, Margot Robbie, Ben Affleck, right? They've been going for some of these flashy big statement things.
yeah, even Will Smith is Deadshot.
Will Smith,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, we had
Will
some.
Smith was really good as Deadshot.
He was. Well, and I think Harley
Yeah.
Quinn is really good too. I mean, doesn't mean they're bad.
But they do go for some of these statement castings, right? Whereas Marvel, really their only big statement casting, I think, was Robert Downey Jr.
And he was a liability at that point.
Yeah. I mean, they go for these actors that you like when they cast Chris Pine as Star-Lord. Everybody's like, "What? The fat guy from Parks and Rec?" Like
Chris
they go
Pratt.
for these.
Chris Pratt.
Chris Pratt, yeah.
What did I say?
Pine.
Chris Pine.
Oh, did I say Chris Pine? I'm just still daydreaming over those blue eyes. Chris Pratt. When they cast Chris Pratt, everybody's like, "What the heck?" Or Chadwick Boseman as Black Panther, and everybody's like, "Jackie Robinson? Like, what's going on here?" They cast these actors, that nobody would really think to cast, and they've been slam dunks. I mean, I can't really. Paul Rudd.
Oh, so good.
Who thought
Yeah,
that was going to
true.
work?
Paul Rudd's definitely got a massive career, but he was not typically who you would have looked at to be a superhero.
Yeah, they're
But
not statement castings.
They picked the perfect superhero character for him, though, man. Oh,
Oh,
so
yeah.
good. He's
He
so
is
good.
so fun. Like, that dude is so charismatic and awkward and funny that the Ant-Man is perfect.
Throw him in WandaVision, man. He can shrink and get into the hex. Boom, easy.
Yeah. I still want to see that scene of him shrinking and going into Thanos' butt and then enlarging himself.
The What If series is perfect for that.
There you go. I don't think they'll do that, but that would be pretty funny.
But you know what I mean? Like they Chris Evans, who had 3 comic book roles before he was Captain America and failed, right? He wasn't a universally loved Human Torch. Push was kind of panned, and then he was in The Losers, right? So he's done repeated comic book.
He was also in.
Scott Pilgrim.
Scott Pilgrim.
Yeah, but Scott Pilgrim is one of my favorite movies, so I chose not to reference that one. But you know what I mean? Like they chose a guy that's failed repeatedly, right? And he's become synonymous with Captain America. Like, you can't imagine anybody else being him. You know what I mean? Like Steve Rogers, I should say, because we obviously know there's going to be Captain Americas in the future. But that's always been my big beef with DC is too many statement castings. Like when they cast Zachary Levi as Shazam, brilliant.
Oh yeah, that was really good.
Because nobody was like, oh yeah, that makes total sense. Cast him. Nobody. People were pissed. Heath Ledger as the Joker, people were pissed. They're like, what, the romantic movie guy? Like what the heck? And he was phenomenal, right?
Yeah.
Do you remember when they cast Heath Ledger? The internet was not happy. Luke Skywalker as the voice of the Joker, go for it. But I don't know. That's always been my beef. I hate their Flash, though. I'm not a fan.
Ezra Miller.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's not him. It's nothing against him. I just don't think he fits.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I'm a little bit like I mean I don't know this at all, but it kind of bugs they're casting a Supergirl when it's like 2013 for like your Superman solo movie. You know, it's like forward, like you're gonna cast. I mean, unless she's gonna be in a Superman movie.
Well, she's just in the Flash. They didn't announce a Supergirl movie.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I don't know anything about announcement other than
she's just a supporting character in the Flash. It's so far.
But I'm just like, if you're going with a Kryptonian, announce the next Superman movie first because I've been waiting since 2013. So
well, I think they haven't announced a new Superman movie because I think it's going to happen, especially when they see how much money Zack Snyder's Justice League brings into HBO Max.
I sure hope it does.
I think it's going to happen because there's rumors that they're currently talking to Henry Cavill to have him come in for Shazam 2.
Oh, okay.
But I don't think they can announce a Superman movie until they get Henry Cavill to say, yes, I'll come back and do a Superman movie.
Well, Henry Cavill, hasn't he been like
he's been lobbying?
Hey, I want to play Superman.
Yeah, he's wanted one.
Yeah, of course he's saying it, but there's no agreement yet. They're not going to announce it until there's an agreement. And Henry Cavill can demand more money now than he could when Man of Steel was created.
That's true.
I mean, for all we know, he's going to make an appearance in the Flash. I mean, the Flash seems to be going Flashpoint. That seems to be what they're doing. So,
yeah,
he could make an appearance. Just depends on how much money they want to spend.
Past Batman's.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, the Flash movie is a really interesting one because, like, it has gone through such development hell. It was supposed to come out like
2 years
Not-
ago.
Yeah, it was supposed to come out like 2 years ago, and it's like not even started filming. I don't think.
Well, the Cyborg movie was supposed to come out a year after
and now
that.
that's
and
never
it's
coming.
never coming out.
And then a Green Lantern show was supposed to come out last year, I think. And yeah, DC has gotten
COVID
so
derailed
derailed.
some things, but the Flash and Cyborg is not COVID related.
Yeah. I don't think Green Lantern is either.
I thought it was.
Maybe.
All I know is that it's still the first Flash movie is a Flashpoint movie. Makes no sense. You need
it
at
does
least
not.
2 Flash movies and then a Flashpoint movie. Makes no.
Yeah.
You're gonna rewrite everything that happened and nothing's really even been written yet. Like,
Well, maybe that's the point. Maybe that's the point. They're trying to reboot their universe and start over. So let's do a Flashpoint.
So they're
Yeah.
giving us Zack Snyder's Justice League. That makes like forget everything that happened, but here, watch a recut of this movie that nobody liked.
It doesn't make a lot of sense. It did,
But it's not canon. I think they've said that it's like outside of the DCEU.
Yeah, wait till HBO Max.
Everybody loves it.
Everybody loves it.
Yeah, we'll see.
And then
I
all
hope
of a
it's
sudden-
great.
Yeah.
Well, they did everything out of order with the DC. Like, if
Because they were playing Let's Catch Up to Marvel.
Yeah, and it's
What was
just
I gonna
like you look at the MCU, and they had all these movies before they got to Avengers to build the characters, and like none of that. You weren't invested in these characters. With Justice League, it just didn't work.
They introduced 3 of the Justice League characters in the Justice League movie. Yeah, it was a problem.
Yeah. Well, and what was did Wonder Woman even come out? Wonder Woman came out before.
Wonder
Justice
Woman
League.
had come out.
Yeah. So I mean, there were a few characters we had some background on, but I want
to say it
was
was
just
just
not a
Man
good
of
idea.
Steel, Batman, Superman, and
Wonder Woman.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
it.
right?
Yeah.
And if you think about it, that's kind of because they had Captain America, Thor, Iron Man. Those
Iron
are the
Man
only
2.
3.
Hulk.
But the
and
Hulk, like the Hulk, you can't really count
I count.
because it was a different
count it.
Hulk.
That same backstory though. But they also introduced Black Widow and Iron Man 2. Like
Iron Man 2 came out before Avengers.
even Hawkeye was introduced in Thor before
He was just in the
briefly,
nest.
but more so than because you could say that all the Justice League characters were introduced in BVS. But as much as I enjoy that movie, that wasn't an introduction to see a 10-second clip from each of them. That's not really.
Well, Iron Man 2, Black Widow was a main character.
That's what I'm saying. So
Yeah.
every Avenger was already introduced by the time Avengers came out. If you want to say any one of them was like a new character, Hawkeye was the newest of the bunch. But even he had been in Thor. So I'm just saying Marvel did a much better job introducing all their characters. And if you listen to the show, I'm pretty sure you've gathered that I love DC. But I'm not going to try to sit here and defend them and say that they did a better job with their universe because they didn't, and that would be a lie.
It's a mess. Yeah, it's a mess.
Well,
And
that's. Go ahead, Tyler. Sorry.
I was just gonna say that's why we're passionate about it, because we want it to be good. We like the franchises, but
Yeah.
they're just not
Completely agree.
Yeah.
I think some people tag me as like a Marvel fanboy, but I want these things to be good. You know what I mean? I want them to, like, Batman is one of the coolest characters ever. Superman, I love Superman. I have Batman and Superman hanging up on my wall. Like, I love it. But they just haven't lived up to expectations.
Yeah.
I don't know. They should just have James Gunn run the whole thing. I'm really looking forward to Suicide Squad.
I'm not. It doesn't look that good to me. It looks super weird. I'm not feeling it.
I love the idea of a rated
But
R
I do
movie
like
directed by
James Gunn. I like
Yeah,
James
I mean,
Gunn.
it's getting a spin-off TV show.
Yeah, I hope it's great.
Yeah.
I'm
I
not
don't
really into the Suicide Squad though. It's just not I didn't like the Assault on Arkham animated movie that everyone seems to love. Kind of thought it was boring. I'm just not really into that. Like, there's a Suicide Squad video game coming out. I'm not really interested. It's just not my jam.
Who's making it?
That's the guys who made the Arkham games. No, why am I blanking? Rocksteady.
Oh, that should
Is
be.
the
Oh,
developer.
but they made the new Arkham games, not the original ones. Or they
No, they made the
original?
originals. It's probably going to be a fun game to play. Those developers are freaking great. It's not a property I'm as interested in.
Yeah.
The developer that made Arkham Origins, which isn't as well liked, is coming out with a game this year, Gotham Knights. I'm very excited about that. That looks really good.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, there's not much else except I'm probably going to watch Flora and Ulysses with my kids this weekend.
Cool.
There were a bunch of trailers that dropped this week. Mortal Kombat, Cruella.
Oh, that one looks awesome.
Cruella
Mortal
looks
Kombat
stupid.
sweet.
What is the point?
There's
Why does that exist?
Wednesday Addams show on Netflix that's coming out.
Oh, I didn't hear about that one. Animated or real?
Animated.
It's animated.
And there was I don't know if you guys are familiar with Train to Busan, which is a zombie movie that takes place on a train. It's Korean. It is a very well-liked, very beloved horror movie, and it is going to get an American retelling. So you can look for that.
I always feel really cautious when I hear American retelling. I can only think of one or two times that's actually worked in The Office, and I'm blanking on what a second one would be.
Yeah. Well, if we look at direct retellings, Old Boy that you brought up earlier was originally a Korean movie, very well liked. But then when the American remake came out, it was not well received at all. I haven't seen either.
It's Brolin, right? The American one is Brolin.
Yeah.
It's just weird. It has to do with like incest and stuff. It's just a weird movie.
It is a weird story.
Well, a lot of the things that are kind of cultural taboos don't translate very well. So yeah, there's a lot of stuff that we try to retell, and it's just like either American audiences just don't have appetite for it, or culturally there's something that's lost in translation.
Well, like Tyler, I don't know if you've seen Old Boy. Essentially, this guy seeks revenge on this other dude, has him fall in love with this woman, gets them to have sex, and then turns out this guy is the father of this girl.
Hang on. So
got them to commit incest.
Hang on.
It's like cheering it.
With Elizabeth Olsen in the American version.
Yeah.
So hang on. You're missing a big part of it. The big part of it is the main character is walking home drunk from the bar one night, and he's kidnapped, and he's held captive for 20 years.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden he's let go. And that's how the movie starts. And so he's not freaking out because he was held captive for 20 years. He's trying to figure out why he let him go now after all those years. Why didn't he just kill him?
Turns out they're waiting for his daughter to reach adulthood.
And so he ends up falling in love with this girl, and this girl has no father, and so she kind of looks to him as a father figure, and then it turns out it's his actual daughter, but they end up having sex in the meantime, and it kind of makes him go crazy, and he freaking kills a bunch of people with a hammer.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's
weird.
Like you do when you have sex with your daughter. I mean,
well, it was revenge.
Blame him.
It was kind of revenge because the guy who held him captive for all those years
was mad about something. Like
he was mad. No, he was mad because the guy, Josh Brolin, or the original main character, had exposed the fact that the guy and his sister had been diddling, and the sister ended up killing herself from the embarrassment. And so
this is like Game of Thrones on steroids.
It was like really dark, really twisted.
I'm pissed that you exposed my incest.
Yeah.
And my sister killed herself. So I'm going to make you commit incest.
And then you can kill yourself.
And hold you captive for 20 years.
And he ends up like freaking cutting out his tongue. And it's
hold on. You're spoiling everything.
Nobody's going to watch that movie.
Not the Josh Brolin version. Not the Josh Brolin version, but the original Korean version is, dude, it is fantastic. Like, it is John Wick level violent, but with a hammer instead of a gun. Dude, it is brutal. It is intense.
I've seen the scene. That's a really cool scene.
That's my issue with Old Boy. It just wasn't as violent as I thought it was going to be. If I remember
you should
correctly.
watch the original Korean version. If you're going to watch the American version, watch it first and then do the Korean one. Because if you go the other way, you will be super disappointed.
I can't imagine like pitching this idea to like producers or something.
Well, again, that's the thing, is that it had a lot of cult success. It had some widespread success in Korea, and it became a kind of a beloved property abroad. And then someone was like, let's just redo it for American audiences. Let's just redo it so they don't have to watch or read subtitles. And they tried redoing it, and it doesn't work the same way, because like we have zero appetite for that kind of thing.
Understandably.
I know, but in Korea it was like, it's like, oh, that's so tragic. Of course he's going to want to kill himself. And then in America, we can't even wrap our heads around it. Like we're like, that's not even something we can talk about. We can't even portray it. It's not something we can talk about. And so I just don't think it's something that translates very well.
I think the biggest thing when it comes to American adaptations is when they're doing the story, like there's this beloved story, right, by whatever culture it's from. And then when Americans get a hold of it, I don't know if it's an ego thing or what, but they change so much of it.
Yeah, think about Death Note on Netflix versus the original anime or the original manga. And they took away so much. Like the essence of that was like a battle of wits. And they changed it into Final Destination.
Yeah.
And it was like a Sherlock Holmes Moriarty game of cat and mouse, and they turned it into Final Destination. And it was like, what?
There's a fantastic movie from Argentina called The Secret in Their Eyes. And they remade it here with Nicole Kidman and Julia Roberts and stuff, and it just wasn't good. Yeah, I remember my dad was kind of upset about that one. And there's certain things, like I heard that they were going to try to do a adaptation of Parasite. I'm like, why?
That movie's already perfect.
Yeah, don't touch it.
I still need
or
to see
Pan's
that.
Labyrinth or something like that. Just don't touch it. Doesn't need to be done twice. I don't know. Anything else you guys want to talk about before we call it a night?
That's been 2 hours. I think
I'm good. I just want to really quickly say Mortal Kombat trailer, fab. Cruella trailer, flub.
I like the Cruella trailer.
I thought that Cruella was pretty good.
Yeah. I mean, I just don't get it.
I
love Emma Stone, but I don't get it.
Well, I love 101 Dalmatians, and I got major the Witches, the movie on HBO Max.
Yeah.
I saw major similarities between not so much the supernatural element that the Witches has, but it seems to me the same kind of movie, and the Witches I thought was very good. So, and Emma Stone's just fantastic. I don't know.
Did you see those trailers, Tyler?
Yeah, but I'm kind of the opposite of Max. Like, I think Cruella looks like it might be a fun movie for what it is. And I did not really like the Mortal Kombat trailer.
Mortal Kombat looks cheesy as hell, but it looks like it's going to be fun.
Yeah, it looks like a popcorn flick. It doesn't look like it's going to be substance.
Well,
yeah.
If you look at that trailer and then look at the first John Wick trailer, John Wick was the same way.
Like, the John Wick trailers look terrible.
Yeah,
I was not interested
but
in
it
the
looked like
trailer.
it was going to be fun. Like it looked like there was going to be a lot of violence. It's going to be really fun, But Mortal Kombat adds that extra element. It's like, oh, I'm going to recognize these characters from the games I played in the 90s.
Yeah, I don't know. Hey
man, anytime you freeze someone's blood and then stab them with it, I'm in.
I did roll my eyes.
That's an actual fatality from one of the games.
Yeah,
that's why it's cool.
Yeah, they say to finish him and all that stuff. Like it looks awesome.
It's gonna be campy. It's gonna be great.
Oh, and then Scorpion, he does the thing where he
get over here.
That was the worst "get over here" I've ever heard, though.
Yeah, but I rolled my eyes a few times, specifically when there's like the birthmark, and it's a perfect dragon with a circle around. I'm like, wait a minute.
It's silly.
I understand what this movie's going to be now. It's going to be cheesy, but it's going to be fun. And every time there's like a major blood splat, It's probably going to be one of those ones where the blood splats and it actually hits the camera lens, and you know what I mean?
Yeah, look forward to our review the Friday after it comes out. Couch Crunchers will be talking about it, okay?
Why
I
not the
have
Friday
spoken.
it comes out?
'Cause I don't think we're going to have time to watch a 2-hour movie and the night of a podcast. We'll talk about it. We'll figure it out.
Let's talk about it.
Plus, the people who are going to be watching our podcast, will they have had a
come
chance?
out on Thursdays anyway, Max.
Well, not on HBO Max.
You
Won't
know
come out
very
until
well
Friday.
you're not going to wait a week to watch it. You're going to watch it Friday.
Well, I will, but probably after the podcast.
Mm,
I do have a
I
job,
see.
and I've been very busy lately.
I've been very
You don't
busy
make
too.
enough money doing this?
$0 I make pay for a lot.
Yeah, we
No,
started
it's negative.
using,
We're actually in the hole because we're paying for a bunch of costs.
That's true. That's true.
so we started using this Microsoft Bookings at work for people to make appointments with us, and my agents have been going overboard. So I'm literally booked from 8 a.m. till 5 o'clock in the afternoon, back to back to back to back to back.
Wow.
That's not fun.
I have zero control over my calendar.
Yeah, I have days like that. I hate those days.
Yep. No, it's been every day. This last
I
week,
hate
every
that.
day. You know.
Yeah.
And today, so I marked it as Fridays. I'm closed for business. I can't set appointments on Fridays now. And I was getting notices in my Microsoft Teams because I have the app on my phone of agents. Hey, I've called you 3 times. Why can't I get a hold of you? Well, I'm not answering my desk phone. I'm not at my desk, right? But still trying to get a hold of me on a Friday when I'm off. I even have the out of office thing, everything. There's just, it's crazy. Crazy.
Good luck with that, dude.
Yeah. But well, that brings us to the end of our show. I hope you enjoyed this show tonight where we talked about WandaVision episode 7. We also talked about some news. We are live every Friday at 7 o'clock Arizona time.
Lance froze.
Right
Or is that
here.
me? Did everybody
I
freeze?
Did I freeze, or
I did too.
did the whole screen go black?
Yeah, whole screen went black for me.
It just refreshed.
That's
Yep.
weird. All right.
I'll
Every
cut
Friday.
that out of the audio.
Every Friday right here on YouTube at 7 o'clock Arizona time. We are going to be talking about WandaVision episode 8 next week, and maybe something else. I don't know. We'll announce it later. But check us out on Facebook, Twitter, couchcrunchers.com. And until next time, keep on geeking on.